Folks, they're on the floor of the Senate, and I could do one or two things. I could report to you on all of the ridiculous things going on, or we could just hold that right now. They're debating immigration. They're debating DACA, okay? I'm your host, BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, we're going to go to break at 9:26. So that way we can come back at 9:30. And don't forget, Georgia Speaker of the House, David Ralston, will be with us. And we're going to talk to him about what the president's infrastructure bill means for Georgia. Now, an article in The Hill last night at 7:22. Trump's infrastructure plan gets cold reception. Okay, President Trump's proposal to revamp the nation's roads and bridges landed with a thud on Monday, with Democrats chastising the $200 billion federal offer as too small to address the nation's needs. Okay, so it got a cold reception. He called Republican reaction, okay, were much more positive, with Speaker Paul Ryan saying Trump was right to make improving infrastructure a national priority. Now, supposedly it takes 10 years. And watch, you will have leftists tie themselves to bulldozers. Didn't we have a group that wanted to, what did you tell me, Amanda, they at the military parade, right? Don't we already have a sign-up sheet? Is that sign-up sheet still going around, Amanda, for the people that want to throw themselves in front of a tank at the military parade?
It's still happening.
Is it still? They want to.
I'm pretty sure they're up to 15.
They're up to 15?
Yep. Okay.
That's no big deal. I've seen Evel Knievel jump more wacko buses, you know. So 15 are signed up that want to put themselves and recreate Tiananmen Square in China and let them run over. It takes 10 years, okay, to get some of these projects approved. The president's going to cut the red tape. We're going to talk about that at 9:30 with Georgia Speaker of the House, David Ralston. Okay, now I take issue. The one thing that I'm very upset with, okay, is, and this is, I'm going to have a drum roll, Amanda, okay? You're going to have a drum roll ready for me. You know, I don't know, I've never heard you do the drum roll, but you will need to be ready, okay? I draw the line when they take on ZZ Top, because this is one of my favorites right here. One of my favorites, right here. Jesus just left Chicago, bound for Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Yes, Jesus just left Chicago. Jesus just left Chicago. Now I take issue when they want to change the song to Jesus Just Left Chicago. Was that wrong? Why did I get a dirty look? Amanda, was that bad? Sorry. Jesus just left Chicago. Because Jeff Sessions said no sanctuary city. Anyhow, folks, I'm sorry. At this time, before every day now, we're giving Amanda an opportunity to go through a couple of the websites that she picks up stories on, and she sends to me, and I briefly look over them, and I get a little nervous sometimes, but there's no censorship, right, Amanda? Have I sent back to you yet and said don't talk about any particular one? Your theme is anything goes. There you go. You know that, right? Yeah, well, there's going to be the day. You make me nervous. You think I make you? You know what? You make me nervous. You just do. I mean, you really do. You make me nervous. It's like, you know. So, you know how I feel like when Bugs Bunny fought the Crusher. Have you ever seen Bugs Bunny fight the Crusher? No? How do you get through life? How do you get through your day if you don't remember Bugs Bunny fighting the Crusher?
I've never even seen the Goonies.
Okay, Amanda, what do you have that what stories do you have this morning that you would like to discuss?
I have one for you. Do you remember the Northeastern professor caught saying he wouldn't mind seeing Trump dead?
Okay.
Apologized following backlash. A Northeastern University professor who was caught on video during a lecture saying that he wouldn't mind seeing President Trump dead is apologizing amid a social media backlash and a statement from the school distancing itself from the remarks. I'm not gonna tell him to go to nowhere.
No, don't do that today. Don't do that today.
But at least he apologized.
Okay, at least he apologized. All right.
When it's civil like that, he did during the lecture, probably did get heated, but he did apologize.
All right, well, here's the one I thought, I was, when I read this yesterday, I said, Amanda is going to talk about this one. Did you see the Daily Wire? Church celebrates transgender pastor's transition with renaming a ceremony?
Yes. Ugh.
On Sunday, a Lutheran church in New Jersey celebrated the female-to-male transition of a pastor with renaming a ceremony. Transgender pastor Rose Beeson of St. Matthew's Trinity Lutheran Church in Hoboken, oh, Frank Sinatra, we're sorry, from Hoboken, was called Peter. Rose went to Peter. Oh my God, by Lutheran Bishop Tracy Bartholomew to mark the pastor's gender transition. So let me ask you a question. Am I reading this correct that they actually held a ceremony to do like a religious transition on transgender? Did I get that right, Amanda?
You did. It was the transgender New Jersey pastor. Yeah, that's just not how any of this works.
That's not just how any of this works.
It's not. It's just this. It doesn't work this way. That's really all I have to say about it. Yeah, I'm trying to be, reserved right now, but yeah, that's not how any of this works.
Well, what I'm saying is, there's here's what concerns me. Okay, now the Lutheran Church. Okay, I'm not going to say on air what I want to. But then when I say that, then people are thinking, right? Okay. So yeah, the Lutheran Church, let's just say, let's not get into the Lutheran Church, but let's just go into some of the ceremonies, we'll call them, in the church. Catholic, Lutheran, they sprinkle a baby, right? You with me?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that. I grew up in the South, so.
Could you just stay with me?
I'm with you.
All right, thank you. They sprinkle the baby, right? And then some churches have a dedication. You dedicate the child. You come forward. The baby's a year old, and you dedicate the child, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you have confirmation. Now, this is what makes me nervous, because where I grew up in New Jersey. Oh, did I say that out loud? All right, well, no retracting that. But where I grew up, the majority of the kids I went to school with, are Catholic. They're Catholic, okay? So every year, there was a whole group that was going to confirmation, right? They're going to confirmation. There's so many different ceremonies. There is the ordained, being ordained in the church. at different levels. So many different things. So it looks like they've added a transgender celebration. Am I wrong here? All right, I guess I better move on from this one. I thought you would pick that one out, Amanda. You caught me off guard. I thought that one, I was like, I know Amanda's picked that one out.
I did see that yesterday. I can't believe I missed it this morning either.
All right, anything else you have?
No, that's pretty much it. I was going to let you update us on some curling.
No. There'll be no curling updates today. No curling updates today.
Thank God.
So, anyhow, folks, Byron York put up Michael Flynn. Now, remember, lying to the FBI is a crime. Okay? Susan Rice lying to the American people, all right? Now, you got to remember, Susan Rice had the same job as Michael Flynn, National Security Advisor to Obama. Don't forget. Don't forget, James Comey was in the room with Susan Rice, the National Security Advisor, Assistant, Department of Justice, Attorney General Sally Yates, Comey, Biden, and herself. So the National Security Advisor is sitting in there. Michael Flynn is charged with lying to the FBI. Now, they wiretapped Flynn, and we can't go into a whole lot of detail on this for timing reasons. They wiretapped Michael Flynn. They have all the tapes, okay? And if you walk in, 6 months after the fact, and you start getting asked questions by none other than Peter Strzok, okay? And it doesn't match the audio, okay, of the recording of the phone conversation, they will turn it into you lied to the FBI. So without going into great length, Flynn is accused of lying to the FBI. All right? Now, interestingly, we have not seen, or do we know, on Robert Mueller, the special counsel's report yet. But interestingly, Flynn's charges have not resulted yet in a bunch of arrests. See, Papadopoulos and Flynn and what's his name, Paul Manafort. These were supposed to result in just one arrest after another. But Byron York from the Washington Examiner, Comey told Congress FBI agents didn't think Michael Flynn lied. In March of 2017, the FBI director, James Comey, briefed a number of Capitol Hill lawmakers on the Trump-Russian investigation. One topic of intense interest was the case of Michael Flynn, the Trump White House National Security Advisor who resigned under pressure on February 13 after 24 days in the job. Okay? There was widespread reports that Flynn had lied to Vice President Michael Pence about telephone conversations that Flynn had with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, during the transition in late December. On January 24th, two of Comey's FBI agents went to the White House to question Flynn, and there was a lot of speculation later that Flynn lied in the interview, which would be a serious crime. The January 24th interview potentially put Flynn in legal jeopardy, the Washington Post reported in February. Lying to the FBI is a felony offense. There was a lot of concern in Congress, at least among Republicans, about the leak of the wiretapping Flynn-Kislyak conversation. You see, there was a lot of leaking going on, And there was a leak of the Michael Flynn, your national security advisor, and Kislyak's conversation. Such intelligence is classified in high level of security. Yet some Republicans suspected Obama appointees in the Justice Department and intelligence community revealed it to the press. Go back to Susan Rice. Okay? Republicans suspect Obama appointees in the Justice Department. Sally Yates, okay, which we know Susan Rice wrote the email, play it by the book, wink, wink, you know what I mean, right? She's the NSA. Sally Yates, she is the Attorney General, the Assistant Attorney General of the United States, soon to be the Attorney General for Donald Trump's administration until Jeff Sessions gets confirmed. Republicans expect appointees in the Justice Department, Sally Yates, and intelligence community, okay? Intelligence community, James Clapper, Susan Rice, Brennan, revealed it to the press. We know Brennan, Susan Rice, Clapper, Sally Yates. We know that. So in March, lawmakers wanted Flynn, wanted Comey to tell them what was up. And what they heard from the director did not match what we're hearing in the media. According to two sources familiar with the meeting, Comey told lawmakers that the FBI agents who interviewed Flynn did not believe that Flynn had lied to them or that any inaccuracies in his answers were intentional. As a result, some of those in attendance came away with the impression that Flynn would not be charged with a crime pertaining to the January 24th interview. 9 months later, with Comey gone and special counsel Robert Mueller, which is Comey's friend, we get called conspiracy theorists. All right, Robert Mueller, former FBI director, in charge of the Trump-Russia investigation. Flynn pleaded guilty to one count of making false statements to the FBI in a January 24th questioning. All right, so what happened with Flynn waiting sentencing that was recently delayed until at least May? Some lawmakers are trying to figure out what actually, between the time Comey told Congress the FBI did not believe Flynn lied, and the time several months later when Flynn pled guilty to just that. Put up Michael Flynn's picture, okay, folks, with Comey. Lying to the FBI is a crime. Ask Scooter Libby, ask people in Watergate, lying to the FBI. Why did so many of Hillary Clinton's friends, Susan Rice, okay, I'm losing some names, Abedin, I'm losing some names, why did they plead the fifth? And the media is trying to make a big deal on why Donald Trump, President of the United States, should interview with Mueller. Go ahead and take that down. Let's go over a couple of the president's tweets here, President Donald Trump, before we get to the bottom of the hour and our upcoming interview with Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. Our infrastructure plan has been put forward, okay, and has received great reviews by everyone except, of course, the Democrats. After many years, we have taken care of our military. All right, now we have to fix our roads, bridges, tunnels, airports, and more. Bipartisan, make deal Dems, okay? So make deal Dems. 3 hours ago, the President of the United States tweeted out, negotiations on DACA have begun. Republicans want to make a deal, and Democrats say they want to make a deal. Wouldn't it be great if we could finally, after so many years, solve the DACA puzzle? This will be our last chance. There will never be another opportunity. March 5th. That's the deadline, March 5th. They are on the floor going back and forth over DACA. We have a $4 trillion budget, $1.5 trillion in infrastructure. Now, there are a whole list. Now, if you read what's going on, you have the media making you think that President Donald Trump's budget, kids will starve to death, seniors will no longer get medication, kids will no longer have health care, all the programs will go away that we need so badly in this country, according to the left, that will end under President Trump's budget. Let's go ahead and take, let me see what else I have. I think I want to take another brief break, and what will happen is when the speaker calls in, we will just go to card if we're ready. How about that? Are we good with that, Amanda? Okay, so let's take another brief break while I set up another story I want to talk about, okay?